Hi, my name is Danielle. I am the Salty Blossom, and I'm very happy to bring you some Gentle Somatic Yoga today. Gentle Somatic Yoga is just a little bit different from other forms of yoga where the focus is on really stretching and elongating the muscles. In Gentle Somatic Yoga, our focus is on re-educating the brain so that we can relax chronically tight muscles. And what I mean by that is when muscles are contracted over a period of time or from an injury, the brain will start to think that this tight condition is the normal condition. The brain forgets that it's able to relax completely. So the purpose of Gentle Somatic Yoga is to erase this sensory motor amnesia, or how the brain has forgotten, and we're helping it to remember how to release tension completely. So to get started here, let's just come to any comfortable standing position, whatever that means for you today. And we'll just close the eyes here as we take a moment to center and come into the body today. And just scanning the body here, noticing any areas that are tight. So for me, that's usually my shoulders, my neck. And I'm not judging these areas. Is not good, it is not bad. It simply is the state of my muscles for today. Just gathering evidence. Let's check in with the jaw, relax the jaw, unclench the jaw. Think about the muscles surrounding the eyes. Relax eyelids, eyebrows, forehead. And then we'll shift the awareness onto the breath. And just taking some inhales and exhales through the nostrils as much as you can. Notice how the body expands on the inhale and gently sinks down on the exhale. Just a few more breaths just like that. With that, we'll gently open the eyes and begin our first flow, or our first somatic movement. This is called somatic mountain pose. Somatic mountain pose helps us to feel grounded. It also increases the energy or the prana in our body. So to get started, let's just take a peek at the feet. I'm going to bring my feet hips distance apart. And to start, I want to point my toes directly forward. Now, close the eyes, just take a breath here. Notice how the body feels with the feet arranged in this way. Do you notice discomfort or tension anywhere in the body? Now let's gaze down at those feet. We're going to shift their position. I'm angling the toes so they're just slightly angled away from the body. Not in a big way, not a ballerina way, but just ever so gently. The toes are angled away. Now close the eyes. Ground down into the feet, pressing evenly into the toe pads and the heels. How does this position feel? Where do you feel it or notice discomfort? And once more, let's look down at those feet. Now this time I'll make myself just slightly pigeon-toed. So ever so slightly, I'm bringing my toes angled towards each other. Now close the eyes, take a breath, check in. How does this position feel in the body? Okay, now you've gathered this evidence. What is the position that felt the best in your body? For me, it's the toes pointing straight forward. So come into the most comfortable position for your body. Find yourself grounding down. I'm going to pick up my toes, spread them apart, and slowly lower them down, giving myself a firm foundation. This is where we will keep the feet for the rest of this flow. Now let's move up the body, coming to the pelvis, placing one hand in front, one hand behind. Feel free to close the eyes or just gently gaze down as we explore how the pelvis moves. So let's just tilt the pelvis back. Notice how that feels in the body. And then slowly roll it forward. Try to make it a continuous movement. Notice any skipping as you move, maybe any tingling or numbness. This is information for you. That's a place in the body where the brain has forgotten. That's a little bit of amnesia. Now as we're moving, let's slowly make this movement just a little bit smaller. So we're not rocking as far back or as far forward. And we'll keep making it smaller and smaller until we find that the pelvis is in a neutral position. It's neither tilted back nor tilted forward. It's just centered right over those feet that are grounding down. Moving up the body, let's come to the ribs. I'm going to place my hands on the lower ribs. Now first, let's just take a few breaths. Big inhales, feel how the rib cage expands out, and then exhale. It slowly sinks down. Now for me and for many of us, we jut the rib cage forward, and that places stress on the lower back. So with my hands, I'm ever so gently going to bring the rib cage in and down like it's moving towards the pelvis. Again, not in an exaggerated way where I'm now rounded over, but just a couple inches will do the job. Now feel the feet firmly grounded, pelvis neutral, rib cage neutral. Relax those arms to the side, moving up the body. Notice the shoulders. How do the shoulders feel today? Let's round the shoulders forward, widening those shoulder blades, chin to chest. And now I'll lift the head, squeeze shoulder blades together as I lift the chin. Now let's keep doing this, trying to make it a fluid movement. Again, just taking note of any stiffness or skipping or tingling. That's information for you. Now, just as we did with the pelvis, we'll start making this movement just a little bit smaller until we notice that we come to a neutral position for the shoulders. I'm not rounded forward and I'm not arching my back. Feet are grounded, pelvis, rib cage, shoulders neutral. Now, let's come to the neck. I'm going to place 2 fingers under my chin, and that's just to keep my chin like parallel to the floor so that I'm not tilting it up and down. And from here, we're going to move the neck, bringing the head forward and back, so kind of like a chicken. So I'm bringing my head forward, the chin comes out over the body. Notice how that feels. And I'm slowly bringing it back, as far back as you can. And just continue just a few more times. Notice how it feels to have the head hanging in front of the body. And then pulling it back. One more time. And then from there, I'm going to naturally find that position where the head is over the shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over feet. Feet are grounded, pelvis, rib cage, shoulders, neck, and neutral. Now bringing that awareness to the top of the head. We're just imagining there's that string coming out the top of the head, just lifting it up, creating space in the vertebra. And from here, let's find just a lovely angle for the head. So very slowly, I'm tilting the chin down. lifting it up, kind of like a boat ramp might lower and lift. Noticing again how this feels in the body, and keeping the rest of the body in their neutral positions as we only move the head. Just as we did previously, we'll let the head naturally come to a resting place where we're not tilting down, we're not lifting up, but we've naturally come to a neutral position. Now close the eyes and be aware of the feet, the pelvis, the rib cage, shoulders, neck, and head. Finding any micro adjustments and giving some gratitude for how we are naturally able to find this position. Check in with your energy. Notice, do you feel a little more light, a little more energized than at the start? We'll just take a few more breaths here, going within, noticing how we feel physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. From here, let's gently open those eyes. We're going to transition into our next gentle somatic movement flow. I just love this one. I have just chronically tight hamstrings, and this has been a great help for me. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what's happening a little easier. This is called a somatic standing forward fold. So this flow will release tension from the entire back side of the body. It's also very helpful of becoming aware of our posture. And it relieves lower back pain, sciatica, any tightness in that area. So to get started for this one, the brain learns by contrast. So we're going to do a pre-check and a post-check, and that will help our brain to notice how these little movements are increasing its flexibility, which means we're releasing tension. So for our pre-check, just bring those feet hips distance apart. We're standing easily, don't lock the knees. So just like a micro bend in the knees is nice, especially if lower back is tight. And from here, we're just easily rounding forward until I come to a place where my body is like, well, that's enough. And for me, that's right here to start. Right here, I start to feel resistance in my body. So we're not pushing ourselves to go deep. We're finding that place where the body first raises its hand, and we're stopping there. Now, release the head completely, release the body. And from here, take your fingers, tap your calves. So this is my pre-check. This is how far I can naturally fold before I've done this movement. Okay, so just sort of memorize that spot in your mind, and we'll easily just round up for a moment. Take a breath there. Okay, now to begin this flow, let's come back forward, bending those knees if you need to. Let those arms hang, and then we're going to bend the elbows and just hold onto the opposite arms with the hands. Now, from here, lift the head, feel the muscles engaging in the back. Now, lift those forearms, not coming higher than the nose, just lifting it up. You feel that contraction. Now, we'll do this 2 more times. Lift the chin, feel it. Lift the forearms. 1 more time, if you have space, lift the chin. Lift the forearms, really engage the muscles. And now relax. Fold over. You can bend those knees if you need to. Release some tension. If the calves and the hamstrings and back are very, very tight, bending the knees will be helpful for you. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. Lift the chin. Feel engage muscles. Lift forearms. Lift the chin, feel that. Lift forearms, engage those muscles. Lift the chin. Lift the forearms, squeeze, squeeze, hold it in. And relax. Let the head hang. A little sway from side to side feels good to me here. Okay, here's our last set. Lift the chin. We're engaging the muscles now. Lift the forearms. Engage. Lift the chin. Lift the forearms. Lift the chin. Lift the forearms. Engage those muscles. And relax. Now slowly roll up here. Close the eyes, take a breath. And now we'll do our post check. So we're going to round forward in that same way we did at the very start, where we're not forcing ourselves, and we'll stop when the body naturally tells us to stop, and we're just checking. Did you increase your range of motion? So here I go, knees soft, coming forward. And this time my hands make it all the way to the ground before I can feel my body telling me to just pause and slow down. So check how far forward you come. Did you increase range of motion? And then from here, we can slowly roll up. Hands can give you support on the legs if that's helpful. And let's close the eyes and do a body scan right here. And remember our somatic mountain pose. Just feet grounded, pelvis, rib cage, shoulders, neck, and head. Deep breath. What do you notice in your body? Gently open those eyes. You'll notice in the flow we just did that we never held a position longer than 3 seconds. And in Gentle Somatic Yoga, that's our 3-second rule. So when we contract a muscle or engage a stretch reflex for more than 3 seconds, that's when the brain turns on and naturally tries to yank you away. So we're not trying to come into a reflex from the brain. We're just trying to notice sensation and let it go. All right, now for our third movement, this one is so much fun. It's called a miracle moment. So this is a twisting movement flow we're going to do. It increases the mobility of the spine, and as you'll see, it also increases our awareness of the power of our mind. Energy follows thought. So just by using our mind, we can increase the flexibility of our body. We can increase how we release tension. Our mind is truly powerful, and we'll discover that in this movement. All right, so again, we're just in a standing position. Just check in, make sure the legs feel comfortable, the feet are in a comfortable position. We'll use a pre and a post check for this flow, as well as just like we did in that last one. We're giving the brain something to grab hold of, the contrast. Okay, so for our pre-check, we're going to work on the right side of our body first. Let's bring that right arm out in front of us. It's at shoulder height, just straight out. Now from here, I'm just turning my head, turning my torso, I'm going to twist as far to the right as I can until my body first brings up some, ooh, maybe we should think about stopping. That's where you're stopping. So mine is right here. I'm going to memorize that spot on the wall behind me and realize this is my range of motion when I started. Okay, then I'm coming back around and releasing that arm. Nice deep breath. And then let's get started. Now, for the duration of our movement, we're keeping the torso facing forward. I'm only going to be moving my arm and my shoulder. So resist the temptation to twist like that. Keep everything facing just towards me. Let's bring that right arm up, right in front, and now only moving my right arm and bringing it out to the side and as far behind me as I can. Now engage those muscles. You can feel them pulling in towards the body. And release, forward and down. Close the eyes, take a breath. 2 more times. Lift that arm. Open it to the side. Engage those muscles. Pull them in. And relax. Now this is called a pandiculation. We're tensing the muscle and then relaxing. Arm up. Open it out to the side and behind us. Engage those muscles. And relax. Now close the eyes. Take a breath here. Tune in. Just notice any sensations in the body. Okay, here's our second set of movement. We're going to do the same movement with the arm, but now as I open the arm to the side, I'm turning my head in opposite direction. So right arm up, open it out, look towards the left, squeeze those muscles in, and relax. 2 more times. Arm up, open, look towards the left, engage the muscles, and relax. One last time. Arm up, opening arm and looking towards left as we pull those muscles in towards body, and relax. Close the eyes, take a breath. Okay. Let's do our pose check. So let's notice if we increased our range of motion just from those subtle mindful movements. So remember, for our pose check, we can turn the torso as we twist. Right arm up, and now I'm turning and I'm turning. Oh my goodness, I can twist all the way around now. So my range of motion increased dramatically. Okay, come back around. Now, we're going to do all of this on the left side. We need to even ourselves out, right? But we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to use the power of the mind. So let's do our pre-check. Left arm up. We're turning everything, including the torso. Turning towards the left until the body tells you, oh, it's time to stop. Notice, memorize that spot on the wall behind you. And unwind. Okay. Now, close the eyes or gaze down towards the floor. We're going to imagine that we're doing these movements. So I'm not actually moving my left arm. I'm imagining in my head, visualizing that I'm lifting the arm and opening it out. So eyes closed, arms will physically stay beside the body. Lift left arm up in front of you. It's at shoulder height. Keep the torso facing forward. Now open that left arm, bringing it around, engage those muscles, and relax. Bring it forward and down, take a breath. Lift it up, open left arm out to the side, engage, imagine pulling muscles in towards the center of the body, and relax, forward and down. One more time. Lift that arm up to shoulder height. Open it to the side as far back as you can. Engage those muscles. And now relax. Now let's take a few breaths here between sets. Notice any sensations or emotions in the body. Okay, now using our mind, we'll imagine, visualize, lift a left arm up And now we're opening left arm to the side as we look over the right shoulder. Turning at the neck, arm and shoulder move back. Engage and relax. Come center. Take a breath. Now lift that arm. Open the arm towards the left. Gaze over right shoulder. Engage those muscles. Pull it in. And relax. Take a breath. And last one. Arm up. Open left arm towards left. Look over right shoulder. Feel those muscles. Engage the muscles. And relax. Arm forward, head forward. Take a breath here. Now open those eyes. Let's do a post check and let's see if your range of motion increased just from visualizing and directing the energy with your mind. So left arm in front. Remember, we're moving the torso this time, and I'm twisting to the left. Oh goodness, I have increased my range of motion. I hope you have too. Coming forward, now take a moment to realize what this means. Our mind is very powerful. We're able to release tension just by visualizing. Let's close the eyes here and take a few breaths. Feel the feet grounded. Check in with pelvis, rib cage, shoulders, neck, and head. Feel that energy circulating with each breath. On an inhale, energy comes up from the feet all the way up to the top of the head. And on the exhale, it cycles all the way back down. A few breaths just like that with that visualization. Now from here, let's bring palms together in front of the heart. The thumbs press into sternum and elbows lift just slightly. My soul honors your soul. I honor the love, light, beauty, and truth that is within you, because it's also within me. And by sharing these qualities, there is no difference between us. We are all one. Namaste.